Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry and Bulldog Nation, this is a very important update for everybody involved in the vaccine healthcare workers issues. First, if you're on the email list, you should have received by now the press release that's gone out to the tri-state and the national media, which lists the case number in Boone County for the St. Elizabeth lawsuit and the case numbers in Hamilton County for the Children's, UC Health, Christ, Tri-Health, and Mercy lawsuits. Today, this morning probably, there will be filed motions for injunctive relief in each of those cases where the judges will be asked to enjoin these hospitals from having you get these vaccinations and your termination if you don't get those vaccinations. The bottom line is, folks, we are taking action, and it's just like anything, it'll set the tone. So even though these are the only 6 we have filed so far, what happens here will be probably indicative of what happens in other places. In addition, more lawsuits across Ohio, Kentucky will be prepared and filed against other healthcare systems from now until next Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead because people ask this, and it kind of drives me crazy because I say this over and over again, and then I see YouTube comments and questions where you say, what about them? What about them? How many times have I said we're going to sue them all? The next that are going to be sued that we're working on drafting right now are Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Dayton's Children's Hospital, Premier Health, Kettering, Miami Valley, and Cincinnati VA. Now, if your name wasn't, your healthcare system wasn't mentioned there, don't freak the heck out. We're going to do it. The other thing I want to announce is that the lawyers believe that those of you that are at these colleges and you're doing clinicals at these hospitals, that if we defeat them, we defeat the hospitals, that takes care of your issue. So we may not be filing lawsuits against these colleges because if we defeat the mandate from these hospitals, that might take care of your problem. But we're sorting that out, and as you know, I do this every single day. So every single day. The other thing is email. You can always email me at eric@ericdeters.com with any question, and I'll make sure the team responds to it. Also, very important, we named individually each of these hospitals for the anti-Sherman Trust claim because they colluded. These 6 systems clearly colluded. And what they're doing is they're trying to destroy your career by basically blackballing you from working at one of the big 6 health. I mean, it's criminal. The bottom line is by tomorrow, we will file a federal lawsuit in the Southern District of Ohio claiming antitrust violations against St. Elizabeth Children's, UC Health, Christ, Tri-Health, and Mercy. That they colluded to do this together, and it's off the charts criminal in my opinion. Also, we've received nearly 10,000 emails throughout the tri-state. And so those of you that are going to get hit from people by saying, well, this is a bunch of BS, this is a bunch of BS, well, don't listen to them. You know, I have to deal with this stuff every day of my life, and long ago, I decided not to bother. For example, and just so everybody knows, the Freedom Fest was scheduled September 11th, long before this vax thing. Just so you know, because there's always if you try to please everybody, especially the haters, you'll never do anything. But I already know that some people are going to say, oh, this vaccination issue. The Freedom Fest event was scheduled way before the vax battle, although I really do think that the Freedom Fest is going to help us out. But you know what the Cincinnati Enquirer does yesterday? The Cincinnati Enquirer does a report on the Freedom Fest, and they said, well, what do you think about people criticizing this because you're having a Freedom Fest on September 11th? I'm like, really? So what do? They report the event. This is how bad the local media is. And then what do? They try to put anything negative they can say about me. I was joking to my team yesterday. I said, well, they didn't put that I, in the class of 1979 at Covington Latin School, I got more after detentions than anybody else in my class. By the way, I never did anything really super bad. I was just mischievous as hell. I mean, it's just, they don't put at the end, Eric has written 3 books, The Pioneer Spirit, Saving Grace, Willie the Great American, he's done this and that. No. It's boom, the negative. And by the way, expect more of that. There's going to be people that attack Freedom Fest because of vax. But anyway, back to the vaccination issue. The FDA approval, and I'm glad to see the comments. Everybody gets that. That is the biggest bunch of baloney. First off, it's not a traditional approval from the FDA. They're just saying, oh, based on what we know so far, we approve it. And you don't think that's a coincidence that it comes out yesterday? And the approval doesn't change anything with our lawsuits. Nothing whatsoever. I also want to bring up that if your doctor refused your medical exemption that you believed you should have, if you're willing to sue your doctor, Deters Law will sue your doctor. A doctor who refuses to properly give you a medical exemption, in our opinion, is liable in damages for them not doing that. So, some of you are mad enough at your doctor to sue them. Email us at eric@ericdeters.com, and we will sue. Let's bring the heat to the doctors who are colluding with the hospitals. We will sue every single hospital or every single doctor and their doctors group who improperly refuses you a medical exemption. Every single one of them. Somebody brought this up, and this is just an aside, but it's very important for me to remind you. Remember, tonight, we the people of Kentucky, Cassie Schaubel and her gang are having a rally at Darren Colvin's house at Squire Oaks Drive in Villa Hills. I forget the exact address, but it's on Squire Oaks Drive in Villa Hills from 5 to 7 p.m. I hope somebody shows up with a sign that asks this question. While he's making his $1.5 million a year, why does St. E's get over $100 million from the government actually made last year a profitable year? You understand what they did? They made 2020 one of their most profitable years ever. Why they have $180 million on offshore accounts? This nonprofit. I'm telling you what, these nonprofits are just totally slush funds for their board and their corporate suite folks. What else? You know, some of the things about this panic. My son went to Kings Island on Sunday. He said he saw maybe 2 masks. Now just think about that. All of these people at Kings Island, all of them, Kings Island, kids, adults, everybody else. And they act like that we got a real COVID problem going on in the tri-state. It's all a lie. It's a total lie. What else? My advice remains the same to all of you on this issue. Play it out to the end. Just play it out to the end. There's no reason not to play it out to the end. I want to read this. This email is so good. I want to read this email from a nurse from TriHealth. Whose health are we actually concerned about? Mine or everyone else? By the way, she sent this to her hospital. I know you're going to love their response. If we can still get and give COVID after vaccination, why do I need to get it? Each variant becomes less deadly. Why the big push? If the public can, yes, I know it can spread more, but it's not as severe. If the public can make a choice about my vaccination status, can I follow you and others around to remove things from your grocery cart, out to dinner with you and make your food choices? If masks work, why can I just not wear the exact same type of mask we've been wearing for the last 1.5+ years when the virus was more quote unquote deadly? I would be fine with you testing my titers, but not shoving a Q-tip up my nose weekly with a known carcinogen, ethylene oxide. How much ethylene oxide is dangerous? If hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin work, why are we not using these? And yes, my primary care physician said he was using them and they were working very well. in the beginning and was mandated not to use them anymore. People had to go to Kentucky to get their scripts because Ohio pharmacies would not fill them. Our own immune system is fantastic. Why can't I rely on that? Especially if I have the virus and have the antibodies. When will the boosters stop? Will this be a lifelong thing to have to get boosters? What are the actual COVID positive numbers since the PCR licensure was revoked due to its inability to determine COVID versus flu virus? Most COVID hospitalizations are people who have comorbid conditions. I am a healthy person, no meds, eat clean, work out, drink lots of water, and no ETOH. I don't smoke. Why do you believe my immune system is faulty? From the WHO, 1.9 million deaths from diabetes in 2019, with an additional 2.2 million deaths attributed to diabetes versus 600,000 deaths from COVID. What is the bigger problem? World Economic Forum, diabetes 3 times more deadly than COVID. Food for thought. Why are the package inserts blanks? I would like to make an informed decision. This makes me think that they're hiding something. If you have to persuade, remind, pressure, lie, incentivize, coerce, bully, social shame, guilt trip, threaten, punish, and or pay people to gain compliance, you can be certain what is being promoted is not your best interest. Please let me know your sources so may I do my due diligence and verify your info. I like to do my own research. This is the response. Thank you for raising your concerns and questions about our requirement for all team members to receive a COVID-19. I love this team member crap that corporate America uses. We're team members. No, you're not. You're corporate slaves. TriHealth has many resources to answer your questions team members may have about the vaccine. Additionally, I strongly encourage you to attend the team member discussion forums that are being specifically held for team members to ask questions. They're all controlled bullshit. All this information can be found, and then they put their little baloney information on it. Again, reiterate the advice. Don't quit. Make them fire you. They don't get to unilaterally tell you to voluntarily resign. They can't take your pension. They can't replace all of you. Fill out a religious exemption. Fill out a medical exemption if you can. Just keep fighting back. That's enough. I got some other emails and information I was going to read, but it'd just take too long. Just so, ladies and gentlemen, the American Jerry and Bulldog Nation, we'll keep you posted. Let's see what a court does for our injunctive relief. Oh, and by the way, those of you that want to, hopefully will get to attend that courtroom for that relief. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.